Xabi Alonso has played a couple of games in Real Madrid ever since taking office from the legendary Carlo Ancelloti fam. And I'm going to be judging this brother. I'm going to be looking into his performances because ever since he signed for this club, he's had a couple of games at the Club World Cup and he's played a few games in the La Liga season. I didn't want to judge this brother based on just one game, so I had to wait for Real Madrid to play at least 3 games, which we have played right now. And I feel like I have enough data to actually look into his performances. Let's analyze. I'm going to give you guys my positives and negatives. I'm going to see if Xabi Alonso has improved this team, the way this team plays. Is it better than before? Are they still playing the way they used to play, or has he made things worse, fam? And come on, let's dive into this. You know, this is the international break, and I feel like this is the perfect time to give you guys this type of video. So if you do enjoy the video, like the video, drop your comments down below what you think about Xabi Alonso, the new manager, Real Madrid right now in general, the way we play. And come on, don't forget to smash that subscribe button for your boy for more amazing content. And let's get into it. Now, the first positive I've gotten by analyzing all the games we've played is the better defensive system, fam. Throughout last season, bro, everybody knows this. Real Madrid was shit. Real Madrid was absolutely trash throughout last season. We suffered under Barcelona. We suffered in every Champions League game we played, especially against Liverpool, AC Milan. We had teams like Lille brutalizing us defensively, fam. And our defense line could not play under pressure, man. Rudiger was shaky. Militao was shaky. Bro, we depended on Lucas Vazquez, fam. But this season, my boy Xabi Alonso brought the changes and we landed 2 gems in terms of defenders, and the way they've adapted to this team so far and in a very short period of time is actually entertaining and commendable. Dean Huijsen and Alvaro Carreras. But let me start with Alvaro Carreras first, man. I mean, when Real Madrid showed interest in this kid, when Xabi Alonso was chasing him, I felt like I didn't really see him as that type of left back that is that good. I feel like he was just doing good in the Portuguese league and might not really offer that much to Real Madrid like he was doing in Benfica. Despite me watching a game last season between Benfica versus Barcelona, and he cooked Lamine Yamal, but I felt like it was a lucky game and I was skeptical. But this kid landing in Madrid since his first game at the Club World Cup, he has proven me wrong, fam. He is the perfect player that we needed in that left back position. Fran Garcia was decent, but whenever Fran Garcia went up front, he kind of like lost concentration in terms of decision making. But Alvaro Carreras, man, he's so reserved, so calm, supports Vini every single way he has to. He won 2 passes with midfield, controlling that right flank, fam. He is so good, and I feel like this was a very good signing to reinforce that defense. And from our games, you can see it, man. It's been spot on. Then Dean Huijsen, man. I'm gonna say the same thing that I said in a very recent video. Real Madrid needs to be sued for, getting this guy for just 50 mil. That money that was paid to Bournemouth was absolutely a steal. We cheated those guys, man. We saw what this guy was doing in the Premier League, and despite just being 19 years of age, to come into Real Madrid and be a very, very guaranteed starter for Xabi Alonso, and he's actually cooking in ways that I could never imagine, man. Dean Huijsen is like you've taken Toni Kroos plus Ramos and you've joined them together to produce a single player, because this guy, bro, the last 4 games we've played, our final game in the preseason against WSG Tirol, our first La Liga game, which was against Osasuna, the second we played Real Oviedo, and the third we played Mallorca. This guy, as a center back, has made the most passes in all of these games. As a center back, man. And not only that, his defensive awareness is second to none. And he has actually boosted that defense. The way he communicates, man, is so commendable. Militao as well. This was the ACL guy. I didn't even expect him to come back and be a starter this season. But he's proving me wrong, man. He is playing and reminding me of the 2021 Militao, where we won that Champions League. And he was one of the best defenders that season. And Militao back in shape. And the centre backs, that centre back position for me is looking promising. Looking at that right back, we got the Liverpool star boy Trent, and he's looking promising as well. Despite these first games, I've not seen enough from Trent like his usual standard, but everything is so much improved defensively compared to last season, bro. And bro, I'm so happy. The awareness as well. Tchouaméni, when things are getting back, is that hybrid defender, defensive midfielder that Xabi Alonso can incorporate whenever he wants to use him as a center back. And in general, I'm not just talking about individuals only, but the way these guys communicate, their defensive awareness in general, the high line, the way they press, and the way, man, you can see from Xavi's system, I mean, when they are defending, everybody is tracking back, man. The communication is way more improved, something we didn't have last season. And I'm so happy with the defensive improvement this season, fam. And the second improvement, or the second positive thing I'm going to talk about, is our new style of play. And what do I mean by that? We all know Carlo Ancelloti last season and this last seasons we flopped. He was leaning onto just one style of play. And what do I mean by style of play here? You can talk about the lineups, man. Xabi Alonso was known in Bayer Leverkusen for his 3-5-2 formation, or you can call it the 3-4-2-1 formation. But coming in Madrid, he has actually shocked a lot of people, and especially me, fam. I expected him to maintain that lineup throughout the whole process he's been in Madrid. But he surprised us in a few games. He's actually used the 4-3-3 formation. How good is this, man? He has proven to us that regardless of the situation, depending on the opponent, he can rotate the players however he wants, depending on the opponents, fam. We could see Carlo Ancelloti last season. Every single opponent was the same game plan, no changes. Bro, he was not just creative in every single aspect that you can think about our game last season. But Xabi Alonso coming into this season has brought more focus on different details, man. I was craving this season for Real Madrid to make a change, fam. I didn't care if it was going to be positive or negative, be it in terms of changing the manager. I just wanted the team or the board to acknowledge the fact that this team needs a change. Because for you to change positively, you have to risk, man. Just like Barcelona risked and sacked Xavi and brought in Hansi Flick. That is the type of risk that we took when we took out Carlo Ancelloti. Even though for me, it didn't seem like a risk, but I felt like his time at the club was coming to an end. And don't get me wrong, he's a legend. But Xabi Alonso coming in brings that hope that we wanted to see. And based on the games he's played so far, bro, I'm loving what I'm seeing from this team. The new system, the new structure is so amazing. And the third positive I've taken from this team so far throughout the games he's played is Vinicius, fam. Vini getting back in shape. A lot of people do not realize how important it is for Vinicius to be back in shape, to be in his game, to be back in top form, not thinking about himself, not thinking about unnecessary drama on the pitch, and playing for the team, fam. And most importantly, his relationship with Kylian Mbappe. Fam, a lot of people knew the egos were going to clash. A lot of people, and I myself, I was doubting if this was going to work. But looking at the games Vini has played, since the first game against Osasuna, in the second game, he wasn't that good though. Before that game, he wasn't that good. Even in that game, he wasn't that good. And we saw what Xabi Alonso did in the second game against Real Oviedo. He benched Vini. And this was not because of a health problem or fatigue problem. It was simply because the guy was not performing. And that activated something in the mind of this guy. And he bounced back. He substituted in for Rodrigo. And he dropped a masterclass of a performance. And this is what we want from Vini. And I thought it was just that game where he scored and assisted Mbappe. But in the next game against Mallorca, he absolutely cooked, fam. And you could see the bromance between these two guys. They don't really have any egos going on or whatever the media makes you believe. They are actually bros, fam. On and off the pitch. And bro, if they can keep up with this throughout the season, Vini and Mbappe are going to be unstoppable, fam. Don't just think about their offensive game. Defensively, what I've seen from Vini and Mbappe, I've not seen in Real Madrid before, fam. These guys are tracking back. It's just like what Dembele has been doing in PSG. These guys in PSG are good offensively, fam. But when off the ball, when they don't have possession, they are standing, waiting for that goal kick from the opposition, ready like hungry lions trying to get back the ball. Pressing and making sure their opponents feel that pressure and lose the ball. That is what Vini and Mbappe are doing so far. And that is a huge improvement under this Xabi Alonso system, fam. And guys, one more thing I'm going to give as a positive. There's a couple of positives I could throw in there, but they are not really valid enough. So this fourth and the last one, which I think these four are actually like the main things I can pick out from this team as positive so far from what I'm seeing under Xabi Alonso, is that Xabi Alonso has made it known to the players that if you are not willing to run for this team, you are not going to get any minutes for this team. You are not going to play for this team if you are not ready to follow the game plan I give you as a player. I give you as players, man, individually, you have to be able to run. Because, fam, Real Madrid's history is enough evidence for you to understand the gravity of performing for this club. The gravity of not taking your playtime seriously, man. And this draws me back to the mentality this team had years ago, 2016, 2017, 2018, when Real Madrid won the UCL 3 times in a row. Fam, it is because of the mentality that Zinedine Zidane installed in these players. When we had Ronaldo, when we had Marcelo, Sergio Ramos, Toni Kroos, Modric, and all the big names you could think of, Casemiro, these guys were not just chilling whenever there was a game. On the pitch, they were pressing, they were defending, and the mentality was we have to win every single game, every single competition, no matter how small the competition seems like, no matter how small the game is. Our mentality has to be to eat our food, fam, and finish everything on the plate and not leave any crumbs. We have to see every defense line as food that we have to feast on. And that is the mentality Xabi Alonso is bringing this season. You can see it the way the players play right now. We are with that energy. They are coming with that energy. They are trying to bring back that Real Madrid DNA that we lost last season, man. That spirit that we lost last season, Xabi Alonso is igniting it again this season. And I'm absolutely loving everything that I'm seeing from these 4 points that I've mentioned in this video. And right now, fam, we all know everything is not always going to be positive, as there are always going to be a few things that are not really in line with the whole game plan, that are not really in line, especially with fans like me, fam, because I have so much attention to detail. I give so much attention to detail, and I'm going to give you guys my negatives, man. The things I'm not really in line with the new Xabi Alonso system. But you can argue that it's just the first games of the season, the first games in his La Liga campaign, and I'm looking forward to see what he's going to be doing in the next games. But now, the first thing that I'm not really happy with is the too many unnecessary passes at the final third, fam. Like, if you look at the games we've played in La Liga so far, let's crash the Club World Cup. I want to concentrate on La Liga. You could see that in these 3 games, fam, Real Madrid made a couple of unnecessary passes around the box, fam, around at the final third, and we had a lot of difficulties trying to find that or get that final pass that we need in order to bury that ball in the back of the net, in order to get our +1 in the scoreboard. But we could see Adagula struggling a bit, even though he's been phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he could improve his midfield a bit. But this is as well something I'm not really looking or considering that much, given the fact that Jude Bellingham is out with a shoulder surgery. So I'm kind of like hesitant on giving this as a negative, because I would like to see what this team does in that midfield position or as an attacking midfield role when Jude Bellingham comes back. I want to see what he can do with Arda Güler and Valverde in that midfield, or with Tchouaméni, however Xabi Alonso uses them. But so far in the games we've played, I didn't like the passes. We make too many unnecessary passes around the box, fam. We had instances where we were pressing, and then all of a sudden a pass is sent back to midfield, or a pass is sent back to the defenders to launch the attack again, and when we get to the box, a pass is sent back again. But I do love what I see with the possession football. It's something we didn't have last season. And if you are trying to attack an opponent and they're blocking up spaces, you have to retreat to launch and refresh your mind, refresh the game plan, and launch again. I mean, it's good so far, but I think at some point it was overdone, which I think Xabi Alonso can cut down with his boys and maybe improve Arda Güler to be more clinical when it comes to finding that quick passes that can lead to the goal, and work on Valverde as well. Valverde is a very good player, but I feel like he can improve when it comes to passing, because I feel like that is, as a manager, wherever you need him, right wing, attacking mid, central midfielder, right back, and I think even as centre back he can play. Even as a goalkeeper, man, if Thibaut Courtois gets injured one day, I feel like Valverde is the absolutely perfect option and is going to cook in that position. But so far, the overdone passes are what I'm not really in line with, fam. And my second negative for this team so far is other players not getting game time. And what do I mean by this? We can see players that were cooking a little bit at the end of last season or towards the end of last season, like Fran Garcia and Rodrigo Goes. Someone I've talked about a lot in my recent videos, his clash with Xabi Alonso and what is going on. But I feel like this is not really more of a negative thing towards the team, but more of a negative thing towards the players themselves. Fran Garcia, Rodrigo Goes, especially Rodrigo, you know, the World Cup is coming up, is something he's going to want to participate in. And if you're not getting enough game time, like this international break right now, Carlo Ancelloti left him out of the squad because he wasn't getting enough game time. He's not played enough matches to stay fit. And with the World Cup coming in, I feel like that's also going to be a negative on this side. But I don't know, man. And these are just the few players, especially Fran Garcia, man. A lot of fans are not really happy with Xabi Alonso not giving Fran Garcia a few minutes. But I feel like Alvaro Carreras is cooking and Garcia is going to get his minutes in the following matches. But this is slightly a negative, not just for me, but from reviews that I've seen. And I feel like a lot of people have, or they are making a point with this, fam. And finally, my last negative from my analysis of Real Madrid so far and the game we play right now and the way we play football in general is our new signing, Franco Mastantuono. Because I'm looking at this guy right now, and don't get me wrong, I feel like from what I've seen so far with the minutes he's gotten in Real Madrid, he's done pretty decent. But that is off the ball, man. With the ball, when he was in possession in these last 3 games in the La Liga, I feel like he didn't really give me what I wanted to see. But a lot of people, man, we chased this boy from what we were seeing with the way he was cooking at River Plate in Argentina. And the highlights I watched, I mean, to be honest, I was kind of moved by the highlights just a bit. I don't get moved by highlights like I used to before because they've actually disappointed me in so many instances, man. And an example of that is Endrick. I was so excited when Endrick came on or signed for this team, but look at what he's produced so far. But he has incredible highlights that are beyond imagination, man. In Mastantuono, I was waiting to see what he can produce. But let's talk about his off-the-ball game, fam, because defensively, this guy tracks back really, really well, man. His off-the-ball movement is exactly what we need on that right side. But my problem, or what I don't really like, is his possession game. I don't feel like he was making the right passes or making the nice or the best runs. And it starts to make me question, is Mastantuono going to give us better than what Rodrigo can give us in this team on that right side of the pitch? Despite Xabi Alonso, the way he's been using these guys, he's trying to make Rodrigo a left winger as a substitute to Vini. But on that right side, can Mastantuono give us more than Rodrigo can give us? That's something that I want us to really talk about, because Rodrigo as well is good defensively and he's also good offensively. But Mastantuono, offensively, I've not really loved what he's done so far. So I'm going to wait and see his next games. And from there, we're going to talk if he has improved or he has not improved, fam. And guys, I think these are like the main key points from the games. I've watched every single game Real Madrid has played ever since Xabi Alonso was our new manager. Every single minute, I've given my attention to every single detail. And these points are actually what I could pinpoint out of the many that I think are really valid. And from the negatives, I feel like they are not really that intense, and the positives overpower the negatives, and that is a very good thing going into this new season. We all know the way we started the last season, man. Last season under Carlo Ancelloti, our first 3 games, we didn't get all the points like this season, because Xabi Alonso has played 3 games in La Liga and he's gotten all the points, putting us at 9 points, and it's so good for a start. Given the fact that he didn't have enough time to train with these boys, and boom, he got into the Club World Cup so soon, and then boom, La Liga started. But fam, these are my thoughts, and after the international break, I'm going to give you guys my prediction, or maybe my match reaction, surely my match reaction of the game between Real Madrid and Real Sociedad, fam. If you did enjoy today's video, come on, it's your boy Incredible James. Like the video, come on. If you are not liking this video, man, how heartless can you be, fam? Support your boy, like the video, subscribe to the channel. God is going to bless you for sure. His blessings on blessings. And don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about every single Real Madrid player. Vini and Mbappe's egos. Our midfield, is it going to improve when Jude Bellingham comes up? Carreras, is he going to really be a huge or a big competition against Lamine Yamal and against players like Mohamed Salah when we get to the Champions League? And Trent Alexander-Arnold coming in against Liverpool, his first game away at Anfield as a Real Madrid player. What do you think about the environment? Are fans going to boo him throughout the game? Is he even going to play in that game with Carvajal coming back? A lot of things to talk about, fam. Let me know in the comment section below. Turn on that post notification so you get notified every time I drop a new masterpiece, fam. And it's your boy Incredible James. Peace and Hala Madrid.